Hey folks, it's Earl, and Sadie is here with me. It's right there. It has been so hard for me to make this video. I have 3 years on testosterone, and I've thought of different ways to make this, and I haven't had a lot of time to do it in the way that I want to, and more time is just slipping by. So I had 3 years, December 30th, and today is January 3rd, so I'm a little late getting to you. But before I started taking HRT, I thought about what it would be like to have 3 years, and I imagined that I would be much happier and much more comfortable in my body and with my face and voice, and I imagine I would have an emotional equilibrium that I didn't have pre-T, and that came true. I am pretty comfortable in my body today, not always, but today's a pretty good day. The mailman's walking around, the really nice mailman. That's how Sadie shows her love. So it's been just a little over 3 years, and so much has changed. This morning, I got up around 5, and I saw that I had a notification. Someone had sent me a message through Instagram, and I opened it, and the person had written me the most amazing message. The fella said he saw my work years ago at a gallery here in Albuquerque called Small Engine, and it was a 3-person show, and he said he looked at my work and he looked at my name, and I don't remember. I'm going to have to go back and look. I think that was the first show I did as Earl, and I was pre-T, but I think I was socially transitioning and had sent an email around at the college I was teaching at in grad school at. I told people that I was transitioning and I was using he, him pronouns, and my name was Earl. And that's where I was. I don't think I had started T yet. And anyway, so he came to the show and he saw some paintings that I made. And he said he thought when this person figures out who they are, I should read you the message. It would feel too much like bragging. Let me just say this about it. It was really affirming. What he was saying essentially is that he had seen me grow into myself, and he started following me then, and he's seen me, move studios and make different bodies of work. And he said in the past 6 months, he's seen this major change. It's like I just moved into myself, and he said in the past couple of months, he's been watching my paintings, and it's as if someone else is making them, but it's all me. And he resonated with the work as honest, and it was a really long message. He had taken the time to reach out. He said he'd never written another painter. He's an artist too. And that he wrote me because of that. Because maybe even more than how the paintings formally look, maybe he's responding to the realness or the language of a soul that is understanding itself. I got a message shortly after that from someone who was asking me how my transition, another artist, pre-T, thinking of starting T, and asked me how my transition had affected my art practice. And I was able to share that message that I was just sent with the person because he described it as someone from the outside looking in better than I could. That's how it's affected me. I'm trying to think if it looks like a different person is making the paintings now to me. And to me, it doesn't. It looks like the paintings have evolved and have become more me. And that's how I feel about my transition, that I am more myself than I've ever been. It's an additive process. I don't think of it as subtractive. And so my painting, I think, is more integrated because I'm more comfortable with my mark. I'm more comfortable with my handwriting or my ugliness or my failure or my, I'm comfortable showing as much as I possibly can and leaving it there. I made these latest paintings, and there are 5 of them at this point, and I want to go to the studio. My truck is still giving me trouble, but get to the studio today after the mechanic to do some more work. So anyway, I'm starting to ramble, but I'm not going to shoot this again. So 2018 was hard. And I'm sure it was hard for a lot of us. And it felt at some times like I was swimming against the stream. And I think it was because I was. I had allowed the obstacles and what felt like kind of a constant battle just to get a little bit ahead or even. I had let that affect my outlook, which affected my everything. Perspective is everything. And I took some time when Kimmy was in Cleveland to look back over the past year and the past 3 years, and then a little ahead into 2019, not too much. But for the past few winters, I have made work that was just for me. And then in January or February, I would start to make work that was for galleries. This work that was, it's almost like a little psychological trick. I'm saying it's just for me, but it really only stays that way for the process. After it's made, it's no longer just for me. But it gives me a certain kind of freedom to put it all in there and let it be without too much fixing or formalizing, and also trying new techniques that would allow for a different kind of expression. And I can take what I learned during this winter series and take it into the commercial work, but that's not the reason I do it. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, baby. Say hello. Say hello. Let me show you something here. So, the reason that I made this series is because the winter feels, well, it's more gray. There's sun, there's a little rain, there's the cold, and it sends me inward more than any other season. And it also, it feels like it also comes with the information from the rest of the year, and it's a time to kind of, for me, let those things be expressed. And it's soul work. That sounds so corny, but it feels like I am expressing this part of me that I thought it would make people uncomfortable. I thought I didn't think this work was even good. I didn't think people would like it. I just had to make it. And the first painting I did was on this old panel that was heavy, and a friend gave it to me because it had been around his studio forever and he wasn't using it because it was rough and heavy. And I gessoed it in black gesso and made this painting called Black Dog. And I was really struggling with something, you know. I don't want to be dramatic and say it was like a dark night of the soul, but in some ways, kind of. I was reckoning with some things that were not easy, and also accepting some things about myself that wasn't easy, and getting comfortable with who I am. Anyway, these are all things that I am lucky enough to be able to work out in the studio in my own handwriting. And so that's what these are. They're like an expression of my thoughts, my soul, my heart. And people started responding to that in a way that I didn't expect. And once again, it teaches me that all these things that I think are ugly or would make someone uncomfortable or would make me vulnerable in a way that is embarrassing, or the work is indulgent, or it's not refined, it doesn't have enough open space, the composition is crazy, you know, all these worries come after the paintings, thank goodness. And when I'm just kind of sitting with it. And then I show them, and someone responds, and they're responding to that. So it feels wonderful to know that I don't have to be pretty, that that I don't have to be Sam for people to like me, that I don't have to make this beautiful, minimal, whatever I think makes a formally acceptable work of art. That's often contrary to the work I'm making. And I will often start off wanting to make something minimal that expresses how I feel in a very minimal way. And there's this Maximus part of me that just needs to go further. And anyway, maybe I'm rambling. But this is it, y'all. This is the 3-year video. I'm going to upload something later that I've started because I've started it. And last week I started making a video where I sat with that video Preeti Earl that I made before I started transitioning and medically. And I made a video for you guys where I watched that and then responded to it. But I wasn't happy with that. You know, I wanted more for it, and I wanted a soundtrack and all this other stuff. So I guess it's still in the works. But I'm sort of thinking that this year I don't want to do the usual kind of typical, hey, it's Earl, and I'm 3 years on T, and then the whole thing. I don't think I want to do that stuff anymore. I think I just want to do what I'm doing in my paintings here as much as I can, and that's so hard. Years ago I was working on this with Adrian. Hey Adrian, if you're still watching, I miss you, let's get together. Anyway, I want to make these more me, and that means losing a premeditated structure and doing things a different way. So I'm looking forward to 2019. I hope everyone else is too, and let's try to make it real. Let's try to make it let's be our best versions. Let's support each other and be kind to one another. And anyway, thank you for watching this. I'm sorry if it was rambly and not what you expected, but it's where I'm at right now. So I will see you guys maybe in a few days. Okay, adios.